In CraftersMC SkyBlock, accessories are fundamental items. They give various effects and buffs or even stat bonuses. And even better, they grant magical power which you can use in Thaumaturgy for even more stat bonuses. So in this video I will go over Thaumaturgy, Accessory Bag and how to get all accessories in CraftersMC SkyBlock. Thaumaturgy is a gameplay mechanic in SkyBlock which gives you bonus stats through what's called powers. And the amount of bonus stats that you get through powers is based on your magical power, which is based on your accessory bag. So if you have a lot of accessories in your accessory bag, that's even more magical power, and then that's even more stat bonuses from Thaumaturgy powers. The amount of magical power accessories give is based on their rarities. So common gives 3, uncommon gives 5, rare gives 8, epic gives 12, legendary gives 15, and lastly special accessories give 5 magical power. So when you come and talk with this guy, you can choose which power you want. Some powers are really rich in defense and some in health or critical damage, so you can choose the best to your liking and you can always change it later. Alongside the powers, you can get even more stat bonuses which you can select on your own. For every 10 magical power you have, you can get one of these stats. As you can see, I have 102 magical powers, so that's 10 tuning points for me, so I can choose whatever stat I want here. And as I said, Thaumaturgy is based on accessories in your accessory bag, so you need to have a lot of slots in your accessory bag as well. First, you need to max your redstone collection. You unlock the accessory bag at redstone 2, but if you want more slots, you should go up to redstone 16, so that gives you 57 slots. And when you're a very rich player, or if you already are, you can also go to Sky and buy a lot of more slots, up to 200. And 200 slots would cost like 2 billion coins, so you might want to do that later. And finally, if you have SkyBlock gems to spend, you can also go to community shop and buy another 12 slots. And maxing this upgrade would cost 1800 SkyBlock gems, but realistically speaking, you will only have like 50 accessories in your accessory bag, so you might pass on those upgrades. Now let's go over the most important part of this video, which is how to get all of the accessories. There are around 100 different accessories in SkyBlock, most of them being upgrades of each other. And speaking of upgrades, you should note that if you come across different accessories from the same family, only the highest one works and the lower ones are disabled completely. So for example, if you go to the feather collection, you can see that there's a feather talisman and there's a feather ring, and after that there's feather artifacts and golden feather boots. These are all from the same family, so if you have all of them in your accessory bag, only the highest one, which is a golden feather boots, will work, so you don't have to craft and keep all of these 4 accessories from the same family. For your first accessories, especially in early game, you will be going to Julia, which is right here next to the bazaar, and from her you will buy all of these accessories, and all of them will cost you 26,000 coins, and with these you got your first accessories. And these are actually very helpful if you are an early game player, because they give you coins and protect you from some mobs or some stat bonuses as well. After that, I want to show you the accessories that you can craft through collections, so you will need the required collection levels to be able to craft them, or you can just buy them off auction house. I'm sure there will be some people selling these accessories, but you might want to craft them yourself as well. And of course, if you know just a bit about CraftersMC SkyBlock, you have minions, so you can and should use minions to increase your collection levels, because it's difficult to reach like mushroom 7 just by collecting mushrooms by hand. And here's a cool list I made for all collection accessories. We have a lot of accessories from farming collections, some from mining collections, and a couple from combat and foraging collections. I don't need to explain them in detail, you will simply just reach these collection levels, farm up some materials and craft all of these accessories. And if you continue on collection ones, we also have Slayer collections, and these are all accessories that you can craft through Zombie and Wolf Slayers. Accessories in Zombie Slayer are focused on protection against zombies, and Reaper Orb gives conditional strength. And accessories in Wolf Slayer are focused on critical damage and combat wisdom. And just to make sure, Frostclaw Relic is an upgrade of Red Claw artifact. And as a side note, there's one more accessory family that you might come across while doing Wolf Slayer. And Wolf Talisman is a rare drop that may drop from old wolves. So that's another accessory. And then you can upgrade it to a wolf ring as well. But to craft wolf ring you also need weak wolf catalyst, which is also a rare drop from wolves in Howling Cave. And in my opinion, at this point in video we are already going over mid game phase accessories, or maybe even late game, so if you're an early game player you can focus on the basic collection accessories, then you can go over slayers and these next stuff in your mid game or late game. Next we have some more craftable accessories which are related to rare drops in combat or farming or the end island. Fire extinguisher is a rare accessory and is crafted with 8 envoy horns. This is a rare drop that drops from fire envoys which you can find in deep caverns. And this can be upgraded to a fire devourer, but this one is crafted with 4 fire fragments. This is also a rare drop from heart igniters, which is again in deep caverns. And let's go over farming ones. If you got into farming, you know that you can use melon armor to drop crop eyes from farming and use even stronger armors to drop more farming items. So after collecting crop eyes, you can craft the crop eye talisman. Then you can upgrade it to a squash ring after collecting squash, and later a fermento artifact after collecting fermentos and crafting condensed fermentos. And these are for farming fortune. And again, if you got into farming, you also know about Aiton's farming contests. So when you have enough tickets and medals, you can go ahead and buy Farmnair Talisman, and later buy the upgrades of it, which are the ring and the artifact. Lastly, on craftable accessories, we will be switching over to the end. If you spent a lot of time in the end and fight some dragons too, you will have ender pearls, might gels and fused remnants, and with these you can craft the draconic talisman and later upgrade it to a draconic ring or draconic artifact, and these are for of course dragons. These are all of the craftable accessories, so now we will be going over the other accessories which are obtained by different ways. And at first I will continue on the end, and in the end there's this dragon guy who will give you a quest for mining end nodes, and after finishing his quest you will be rewarded with a pig's foot. Then we have some more quests in the park as well, and in the jungle zone you will see the lost pirate, and he will want you to find all treasure chests across the whole park. That might be difficult, but you can check out my channel to find a video where I show you the locations of all of these chests, so it will be easier. And for the reward of this quest, it actually depends on your actions, because at the end of the quest you can steal or not steal from the treasure chest. If you steal, you will get Seal of the Seas, or if you don't, you will get Seal of the Oceans. You can do whatever you want, but I would suggest you not steal, so you can get the accessory with the higher rarity, because it'll be better for your magical power. In the Dark Oak zone you can meet with Phoenix, which will give you an accessory for his quest. This is a very long quest where you go through 30 different tests to not die on the fire. And if you finish all of these tests successfully, he upgrades your accessory to Campfire God Badge. Then in the Arctic Cave you can meet Marco and Lila, and all they have to do for their quest is to do marathons across the whole cave. And that's all, they will give you this accessory at the end of their quest. So we're done with quests, so we only have event accessories left. These are obtained through events that come around like once every week, and one of them comes around every 20 days, so you might not want to lose your chance when you come across this event. Or you know, if you're rich you can just buy these ones from other players in the action house. First, at the end of winter we can buy New Year's cake bag for 250,000 coins. And in the middle of autumn there is the spooky festival, and in this event you will do a lot of grinding with the event mobs, so you have green candies and purple candies that you can use to buy new accessories. This NPC comes in the festival, so when you have enough candies you can go up to him and buy candy relic, but this requires the previous ones too, so you will need to buy the talisman ring and the artifact first, which will cost you over like 1000 purple candies and some green candies. Then you can buy intimidation ring and artifact 2, which are the upgrades of the intimidation talisman which I mentioned previously. And lastly you can buy bat ring and artifact, but you also need the bat talisman for them, which is a rare drop from bats that the crazy witch summons during this festival. So accessory wise, Spooky Festival has a lot of accessories to get, so you don't want to miss it. And lastly we have Season of the Pig, and this event happens once every 4 Skyblock years, but even though it's an event that you don't see often, it only has 2 accessories that you can obtain. First, you can buy Blood God Crest from this pig shop, and the second one is a rare drop which you can get by catching shiny pigs with shiny orbs, and it's a potato talisman, and good luck with that. Okay, now we are almost over all of the accessories, and Sky's badge is one of the last accessories that's left. You can get the accessory by going to Sky and buy upgrades from her. And after buying 5 upgrades, which would cost 21.5 million coins, she gives you this accessory. And here are the last two accessories that you can obtain in SkyBlock, Day Freezer and Night Freezer. But you can only buy these in community shop with SkyBlock gems unless you buy them off auction house. They are sold in a bundle, so you can get both of them for 945 SkyBlock gems. And as a reminder, if you are going to buy SkyBlock gems on CraftersMC store, you can use the creator code PVO to support me directly. These are all of the accessories that you can obtain, and with these you should have around 350 magical power, which you can use on your Thaumaturgy. Now you might ask, Thaumaturgy gives 5 magical power for every special rarity accessory, but there's no special accessory. And there are actually 2 special accessories, but you simply don't obtain them in the game, so let me tell you about them. First, we have Creative Mind, which is given to players who makes a good and original suggestion on CraftersMC Discord. And Game Breaker is similar, which is for players who reports a very important bug they find in the game. But these accessories are given on decisions of owners, so it doesn't mean you will definitely get these accessories after making a suggestion or reporting a bug. And that's the end of your complete guide to accessories for CraftersMC SkyBlock. If you want more guides on different topics, make sure to leave a like and comment after subscribing to my channel.